Of course, we're broadcasting live in the beautiful downtown Lagos, Nigeria, and streaming from Columbus, 2013, and Rosslyn, Pennsylvania, United States of America. Let's make sure all lines are clear. Unmuted. All right, Angela, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, do that one more time.
I can.
There we go. Now I can hear you loud and clear. All right. Quiet respect the call letters, y'all. WBNN Nigeria, 4 seconds. Recording started.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. I want to thank you for tuning in to Walking in Purpose with Angela, live from Lagos, Nigeria, here on the WBNN network, brought to you by them boys at Ngozi Time Multimedia. You're listening to the 4039th presentation. I am the 2023 International Internet Radio Hall of Fame broadcaster, the Anna Waddell Host of the Year for 2023. Like always, it's an honor and a privilege to be here in this space on tonight. I have two amazing queens that's going to be sharing the platform with me on tonight. And we're going to be talking about the current state of America. And we're going to give you an opportunity to chime in and get to know my special guest on tonight. So, welcome, 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 welcome. We're going to be discussing the different layers that define our national identity as we navigate in an era that is characterized by the rapid change and evolving challenges. We're going to be talking about different things that's taking place right now. Today, we're going to explore various topics that we are currently facing across the U.S. I have two amazing queens that also are mothers, um, single moms, raising our Black youth. And we're going to talk about some of those challenges. As I bring my guests on, I'm going to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves, um, talk about their brand, the things that they are passionate about, give them an opportunity to share just a little bit about that. We're going to be talking about some of those things that a lot of people don't want to talk about because they are topics that affect us as brown people. Um, I want to touch on how they are trying to erase history, rewrite history, and all types of things that is taking place right in our face, in the midst of, under our nose, however you want to characterize it. It is taking place. And I just want to hear about it. So I'm going to bring my guest up. I'm going to see if my guest is in the building. We have Patrice Grimball. Patrice is a librarian reigning from the great state of South Carolina. Patrice, are you there?
I'm here.
How are you?
I'm here. I am good. How are you, girlie?
I'm great. I can't complain. I can't complain. Um, just want to get some different perspectives on some of the things that we have been seeing and hearing, and a lot of things have been transpiring, and just want to get some perspectives, especially from those that are in the midst of, affected by, and have opinions about some things. So welcome, 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 welcome.
Talk about have some opinions. I went beyond against the grain, they say, and I watched the dress last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. And then I'm a news junkie, so I'm gonna let you know right now. I love news. Okay, I know that's a bad thing, but I love news. And to hear that 79% of Americans were pleased with that last night. Tell me what were y'all pleased with? All he does is introduce some people. He's not telling you why all the jobs are going. He's not telling you why he got this man who is going through everybody's business, but we can't go through his business. You know, let me stop right now because there's a whole lot of people. Y'all got to see what's going on. And they say the 98%, I'm like on that straddling line. And I know that's not a good thing, but I have a 22-year-old and my baby girl just turned 10. So I'm in between 3 different eras in my life. And to see what is transpiring in front of us right now, this is crazy. So the 98% say we're going to sit around and let y'all find out. Well, how much we want them to find out? When will we step in? When will be the best time to step in?
I mean, and what are we finding out? And how much do we need to find out? I mean, what are we finding out? Because, like, show me all this stuff that you keep saying that is happening. Like, I just, a lot of this stuff I don't understand. Like, truly, I don't understand. Like, for the likes of me, how do you put someone from wrestling in charge of an education department? Like, really?
Okay.
How do you do that?
So what? PTA moving to a SmackDown now? Like, what are her qualifications?
It's not about
business well with SmackDown because all the stuff they had going on with that.
Well, it's not about.
Who once said.
Well, with him, it's not. Well, with the administration, this new administration, it's not about them knowing or having qualifications, but it's about them being able to, they've had businesses, they've been successful in businesses. With a lot of people, it's just about money and what they've done for businesses. Like, are they doing that for you, or your businesses like that, or is that's what's happening? Are you going to benefit from this? Like, I don't understand. Like, for the likes of me, you are flirting around this little young boy that is a cancer survivor, but yet you're taking millions away from cancer research. Like, make it make sense. I don't understand. One hand, you're saying that you are for, and then the next hand you're pulling and taking away from. Like, I don't understand that.
So you must have been in my house when I was throwing stuff at the TV when he did that with that little boy. I was like, put that boy down, because aren't you cutting research for cancer studies? Hold up, didn't we just have something where you were dismantling the Department of Health? Like, make it make sense to me. Now you got this man right here who said that Black people do not need immunizations because what he said, our body is in need, or we're stronger than that. Some craziness he said. You got him, and half of his family even told you he was not the right person because he threw his support behind you in the race. You said you won't give him an office. So now I'm about to tell this man my ovaries in his hands. No, never mind. I'm using Jesus. So I don't need you.
Wow. So I want to see if our other guest is on, because this is probably a conversation that we all can dive into. Shining, are you there?
Shining is here.
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
How are you?
I am fabulous. How about yourself?
I'm great. I can't complain. Me and Patrice was we just jumped in and just dived into the conversation like
yes, please,
did not even like really give formal introductions. Like, Patrice, who are you?
Oh yeah, I didn't know like who I was. That's okay. She was dealing with a word. I am from Charleston, South Carolina. I am a single mother of two beautiful kids. I have a 23-year-old black male by the name of James, and I have my little diva who keeps me busy named Anaya. Happy birthday, baby girl. And I work at a public library for this school, so I'm not going to say which public library because we got some stuff going on in our library also. And I have been the director of book review for Aspiring Authors Magazine, and I am an avid reader. I have a podcast by the name of Essie Book Gal, The French Chat, and that's your girl, Essie Book Gal. And my platform is really for authors who want to get their name out there. I love the hunger of new authors. I love the thirst of seasoned authors. And I just want to give them a platform where as they can have a chance to meet others, collaborate, and everything. So that's a little bit about me.
Wow. And you say collaborate, and you mentioned some just different things that you do. I often hear individuals say how lazy we as Black people are, how we always have a handout for something. We don't want to get out and do anything. It just saddens me that in this day and time, we still have our own kind that will tear us down instead of, I see there's a young lady where there was something that she wanted done. It wasn't being done. So she went out and started doing it in her own neighborhood. Now she owns just about the whole block. She has a house for the children for homework. She got a house for this, a house for that. They have garden, they have this, they have that, they have everything, because when she saw a need, she did something about it. She didn't keep griping, she didn't keep complaining. She got out and she did something about it. I often hear people say, well, who's going to the different council meetings and the different things? Well, I happen to be one of those people that did do that. I went to the city council meetings. I went and I sit down and I sit down amongst individuals, and I saw that, yeah, there was not a lot of us being represented locally in our local government and different things. But instead of us tearing each other down, we should be saying, okay, well, how can we come together and rectify these issues that we're having? Like, where really is that village mentality? It's like it just went out the door when we all began to start with that, oh, I got to get my white picket fence, and I got to get my house, I got to get my car, and I got to think about my four and no more. And that's what happened. And when we began to have that mentality, all of the community work went out of the way. And that's when you begin to see the rise in a lot of the things that are happening within our society. Because then now you step on my shoe, I'm willing to take you out of here. That's the mentality that a lot of us have. Shining, please introduce yourself.
I am here.
You have two teenagers, so definitely introduce yourself, and then we're going to jump on and dive into that conversation with you, get your perspective.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to take too much time on my introduction because I love what you ladies are talking about, and I definitely have some things to throw in that pot. So I definitely want to be cooking with you both and see what type of recipe we can have tonight. So, but my name is Shining Saffron. I am the new kid on the block, the new kid on the podcast, the Crew Podcast. My podcast is called Bad to Business, BADD, bringing all diverse discussions to business, which is what we're trying to do tonight. And it's just basically about bringing different perspectives, different opinions, different fact checks to to the table, see if we can find some type of business or resolution that we can all come out on top of, even within the midst of dealing with all these different things going on. I'm going to say different entities going on in the world. So I definitely am keeping up with these current events because, as Ms. Patrice said, when you have children in this world that are still coming up, the adults have kind of learned how to maneuver, hustle, strategize. But our kids growing up, you're still trying to teach them that. And, we were taught in a different world how to do it. The world that they're growing up in, I'm still trying to understand their math now. So just a totally different thing going on right now. But yes, I do have 2 teenage girls, and with trying to raise them to be resilient Black women, I've got to lead by example. So I do like the point that you touched on about not just talking about it, but being about it. And that's one thing that they don't expect for us, quote unquote, to do, is to get organized. So definitely want to start doing that more. And what I'm doing on this podcast is doing just that. We are actually doing this, bringing these diverse discussions, opinions, fact checks to the table to see what good we can bring out of it. So hopefully during this discussion, we talk about a little bit that will spark something in at least each of us on the line to do something different, think differently. So I'm excited. Thank you, ladies, for having me.
So I have a couple of questions that will hopefully give some people that will provoke some people to think a little deeper. So okay. In your opinion, and either one of y'all can answer this, Patrice or Shannon, in your opinion, what are the biggest social and political challenges facing the United States today?
Political challenges. Patrice, would you like to go first?
I think it's sad that it's social and political challenges. Well, social, let's go straight into it. We're talking about race. And then we're not even going to take it just as race. We're going to talk as gender. Okay? And we're not even going to talk as gender. We're going to talk about age. So almost each one of these are one of those. Okay? We can talk about, it is so much to that question. It is
So for me, I want to jump in. I want to jump in and give my take real quick. So in my opinion, I want to talk about one of the biggest, I feel, social problems we talk about, and it probably falls on the judicial too, but social injustice. That is one of the biggest challenges that is plaguing the world. But the United States, we talk about the disparity with then our prison system. We look at right now, we have individuals that have made parole, but yet they are still behind prison walls. Well, why are they yet behind prison walls? Why are you still holding these individuals? So these are things that, these are challenges that we have to look at. Is money more important than human life and rehabilitation? We had a elderly man that was laying over there in his feces, in his bowel movement, and these men were having to help him, get changed because the guards wouldn't allow this man to get moved out of there. It took me having to write these people and tell these people that, pretty much threaten them to bring legal action before they would even allow the man to go to the hospital. That's sad. I'm not even a relative. That is sad that this is the world that we living in. Go ahead.
I had a conversation with someone today that in the same system now, you guys, how you bring in fresh, clean, bottled drinking water for your employees, anybody who comes in to visit. But those who are incarcerated, they're sitting up here drinking this brown water.
Yeah.
And so it's telling people who come into the prison system,
don't drink it.
Their relatives don't drink the brown water.
Yeah.
What?
Because it has toxins in it.
They don't deserve fresh anymore?
And if you Google if you Google and do the research, you'll see that it has been proven that the water has toxins in it. That the water is not that has caused inmates to get sick and has caused regular people that live in that area to get sick as well. So we know that there's an issue, but for you to be able to not have hot water, washing dishes in trash cans with water, and you allowing your inmates to eat off of these grimy plates, but your workers can eat off plastic plates and drink out of bottled water. Like we really got to make this make sense to us. A lot of us, we making excuses for this current administration and all that's going on. But nevertheless, Shining, question for you.
Can I chime in? I hate to interrupt. I don't want to get too far off because I am listening to you all and try to jot down so I can make sure I kind of touch on some things. But I just wanted to go back to your question, Queen. What may be the biggest social and political challenge we face today? And honestly, you ladies just said it while you were communicating when you were talking. There is no effective communication happening. There's a whole lot of conversation, but it's not being effective. We're not moving on it. Kind of like you said, what else are we doing other than talking about it? And Sister Trees, I did get to watch the address to Congress, and I have a lot to say about that too. But one of the things that I don't know if you tuned in all the way to the end. You know how they say you got to watch the ending credits. When Senator Slotkin, I think her name is Elizabeth Slotkin, she's the senator of Michigan, and she jumped in and she did the rebuttal to his speech. And the top three things she said that we have to do as people to, really enforce some things that we believe in. The first thing is she said, don't tune out. Don't get so aggravated about what's going on in the world, or you're, feel like it doesn't affect you or something, that you just pay no attention to things, because eventually it affects us all. Whether it ends up affecting your children, and as a parent, you're bothered by that. You may not even have to deal with, you got your Social Security check and everything's good, but what about your child? Now your child is not going to grow up with your Social Security. Do you know how your child is going to survive for the rest of their life? And as a parent, we try to already have things set up for our children, but we also expect for the economy to do what it's been doing, which is, you put in, you take out. That's one of my mottos. You can't make a withdrawal without making a deposit. But right now we're making a whole lot of deposits with the promise of, almost expectation of, getting nothing back when we're older. So that's scary in its own. Number two, she said you got to hold your officials accountable. Well, first you want to know your officials, whether you voted or not. You want to know who your local officials, and you want to know who your state officials are. Because when things start to come up, maybe you didn't vote, but it doesn't mean that your voice doesn't count. And I don't like for people to use the expression, if you didn't vote, you don't get to say anything, or you don't have an opinion. That's not true. I may not have wanted to vote for the president that was up for candidacy, but I may have gone ahead and voted for my state and local officials that I want to see something happen closer. So even if that's the case, please don't feel like because you did not vote, you don't have a voice. That is not true. You pay taxes, you have a voice. So please make sure you're holding your state officials, any officials that you know have something to do with stuff, hold them accountable. Reach out to them. Say something. The third thing that kind of helps, number two, is organize. So while you're finding out your officials and the people you need to talk to, then get with the people you know are in agreement. We got to get back out to signing petitions and doing different things, organizing things in our community that are showing our local officials and state officials that there are a group of people, a majority. We, the people in the Constitution, that's the majority, and we're not pressing that issue. So I think if we get together as a community, get back to petitioning, doing those things, and actually engaging, again, not tuning out, we may get a little more of an answer, at least, of an answer. And I don't want to go too far into, getting off your topic, but even getting into getting answers, Mr. Trees, you talked about watching that address to Congress. I'm trying to make sure I label it correctly or I address it correctly because I have a few titles for it myself. But he, for so many people to be watching because they were looking for answers from our president official, they didn't get that. I saw that they took a poll before the show what people were looking most to get out of this. And most people were looking for the Doge conversation. You spoke nothing about Elon Musk, really. You spoke nothing about his Doge. You turned this address to Congress into a Carongo show or a Sally Jesse Raphael show. No downplaying to any of the people he put on the show and people he acknowledged because he should have. These are people that should have been acknowledged. But I also feel like they were a little bit exploited because this is not the platform nor the time for them to be brought to the stage in the ways that he did. That was a little, I'm going to say, discouraging to me as a citizen who was watching, looking for answers to stuff, not your good deeds of the day. Because what you tried to do was persuade people who were watching to know that you have a good heart. You can't really do that when, like you guys said, you are preaching one thing but practicing another. That got kind of confusing. So him doing those things, and that's why, Ms. Angela, I'm so glad that you titled this show "The Current State of America." Because as I thought about that and it rolled off my tongue, I was like, that's probably what we need to be called. It's not the United States of America, because as much as when we want to be united, those borders hold tight on every state. But we are the current state of America. And it seems like we're going to be in that for at least the next 4 years. We're just the current state, whatever it is. So, watching that address and wanting to know what state we're really in, and Ms. Angela, you asked me to be a guest before that even came out, had a topic for it. So I felt like it was really God sent for me to be able to chime in on that speech last night, right before this interview. Because I said, you know what? Well, I have a few things and a few topics, a few researching that I've done, but let me see the current state of America. And unfortunately, I couldn't grab enough topics other than other people's business to even present on your show. Fortunately for me, I've done enough research with Trump and Elon Musk and all these things that's going on that I do have some opinions or some things to say. But as far as how he addressed the Congress last night, we didn't get anything that we needed out of it. Was it even necessary for him to do that? And with that being said, they were surprised that he even addressed it 100 days, before the 100 days, because they said most presidents do it 100 days plus. I was looking at it as much damage as you've done in less than 100 days, you owe us that. Yeah, we're looking for an explanation. So yes,
but we have so many. We have so many that we got to give him a chance. He's only been there 6 weeks. He has to go in and kind of expose and mix up and shake up things so he can rat out the things that are not right and the things that are not that is out of place. So we got to give him a chance.
Excuse me, Angela. What is Dr. Oladele Ngozi? Please look at your teleprompter. You have some callers in, so make sure you pay attention to your teleprompter, please.
Oh, sorry about that. It seems like we just going. So yeah, I understand that, Ms. Angela.
Okay. We got caller number one. We got a caller, so we're gonna let the caller come. Okay. Caller number one.
Hello, caller.
Hi, it's Jerry Petito. How you doing, Angela?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just listening to you ladies. I'm calling in to support your show.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you have any opinions tonight?
Well, I am a Republican, and I thank God every day for Trump. Not here to argue at all, but I do want to share a little bit of my story. So I'm going to be 64 in a couple days, and I started in my early 20s going all around the world on tours. I went to Russia, had machine guns pointed at me, Germany, China had machine guns pointed at me. I went to the borders. I protested with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. twice pre-COVID in Trenton for our constitutional rights. We won both times, thank God. And I went to the borders last year, spent 5 days with Border Patrol and Sheriff Department in Yuma, Arizona, went to the most dangerous border, went to the legal border, and went to all the illegals. Saw hundreds and hundreds and hundreds all day and night long of children being brought in, okay, that weren't even their own children, for sex trafficking. So what I've learned all these years and what's been going on in this country is absolutely horrendous. So I'm not here to bash anyone. I'm not here to argue with anyone. I'm just here to tell my little piece of this story. And I feel that God saved Trump not once but twice to get him in office again. And everything that's been going on has been going on horrendously for the last 4 years. So he just got in office and he will fix it all.
But
So
he was in office before that. He was there before. He was there before the 4 years. So he was part of the problem too. So he was 4 years before that.
So I just.
Well, I do understand. I'm sorry, Carla, what was your name?
I'm Jerry Petito. I also have a show here on WBNN. Yes.
Awesome, Jerry. I just have a quick question for you. Because I have talked to some Republicans about just what if they have gotten or even seen anything, remotely to what he's promised or whatnot. I talked to a couple of Republicans who were kind of angry. I voted for him, and then he flipped the script on me. So in this case, I know he's only been president a short amount of time, although this is his second time around. Has he done anything yet? Or is there anything that you can see that he's putting into?
Well, I can tell you something that I know for a fact right now. Okay? I'm not even sure how to say this yet. Actually, I'm going to keep this to myself for a moment because he's doing something that he needs to be doing, and it has to do with child trafficking. And I have a granddaughter who's 9 years old, and again, what I saw at these borders was horrendous for me. So for me right now, ladies, that's enough. But I just wanted to say that, and good night, guys.
But he was at Epstein Island, what, 4 times? They got him over there 4 times, but man, please, come on. Anyhow,
So you're telling me the same man that said grab him by the pussy to degrading women, and that's not even his women.
Come on.
You
yeah.
think that
just like for the likes of me.
Sex trafficking will actually go away from it.
Yeah, and they want to set this man free. They want to pardon the man that killed what's his name? They don't threw me off now. I'm all off, honey. Let me go to the next question. I got another question. So, how do you think the recent events have shaped America's identity on a global stage? We want to talk about a global stage now. How all of what has been going on, because we can talk about, what Trump is doing and what Trump ain't doing, and how he's letting all these people that not qualified in the office running because they got money or they might have whatever. But we talk about sex trafficking. I want to talk about this thing now. We talk about sex trafficking, but then you have documents proving that this man was over on Epstein's Island, not 1 time, but 4 times. They've given years and dates of this man over there, but he now all of a sudden want to talk about some sex trafficking. All these politicians that want to talk about sex trafficking now, yeah, had your dips in it, played in it, been in it for 30, 40 years. Yeah. Now you want to talk about you for it. You watching the children. Yeah, you're watching the children. Okay. Caller number 2 in queue. Caller number 2. Come on in the room.
Hi, it says calling
from Little Rock, Arkansas. Hey, Angela, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I love your topic tonight. And I'm sorry your last caller didn't answer your question. I did not vote for the Mango Mussolini, not once, not twice, not 3 times, not ever. And I stand with you. I don't think that there's anything good going to come out of it. And I support your show, and I love that you're having this topic tonight, and thank you for allowing me to call in.
Well, thank you. And please tell everyone who you are and when your show is.
Oh, absolutely. My name is Des, and I have a new show, and it's called U-Turn, and it'll be on March 20th at 8:30 Central Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Wow, what a name for a show, because that's what a lot of people doing. They doing a lot of U-turning and getting off the subject and not even getting straight to the point. And I'm like Charita now. They turn a blind eye to things and bad behaviors until they start affecting them. I'm telling you, when we talk about we talk about education, they say we supposed to be trying to give our kids an education and give them no way to get an education. But how, when you're taking all of the funding away? It's just like you setting up your buddy. You're setting up your buddy. He getting all the benefits from everything. You're taking stuff from other people that would be benefiting, and you giving it to Elon Musk, the man that's already a billionaire. And then you got other countries that's going against this man, not even allowing his stuff to come in their country no more. Yeah. But we fighting against 2 countries that sit on both sides of our border, and we in the middle. Come on now. We gonna need these people as allies. But yet we going against everything. Like, you are the worst ever. 6 weeks and you caused so much damage. You caused so much damage in only 6 weeks.
We are truly the laughing stock. Everybody's looking at us laughing. A lot of people are taking bets like, what's going to happen in America next? We don't even know. We are totally a country divided. Has it been 100 days?
It's just terrible.
Because it feels like it's been forever.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. So, Shannon.
You got people who...
I'm sorry, go ahead, Patrice. I was trying to see if Shannon was still on. Because it sounded like she dropped out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, but I couldn't hear you if you were saying something. I could not hear you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got a little disconnected. I think, maybe God was telling me to turn it down a notch, and I get it. This is just about trying to bring some stuff to business.
I mean, it's
any more diversity. So,
but I mean, these are things that we need to talk about. Like, y'all have kids. Definitely. Y'all both have kids. You have teenagers. You talk about you got kids that's finna go off to college. Your baby's finna be affected by the funding issue. Not only that, we talk about snatching the free lunches and the different things. You're snatching a lot of stuff. See, this is what's happening, and I'm about to just be frank with these people, because a lot of people, what they thinking is, a lot of this stuff that they doing, they thinking that it's gonna hurt us as brown people, but it's not gonna hurt us, because let me tell you something, we're some of the most resilient people. We've been through this. Y'all think about what y'all done to us when we went through slavery and all the stuff, how we had to sacrifice, how we had to do without, we had to hand-me-downs and all of this. So we've been through this. So what you're doing, it's not really affecting us. And then they want to talk about DEI. Forget a DEI, because a lot of us, we're not affected by no DEI. It's not affected by the jobs that we work. When we talk about DEI, I'm not affected by no DEI. A lot of us, we go to these jobs and it's our merits. It's what we do on these jobs that allow us to get in the positions that we get in. It ain't because we black. You don't see a lot of them working the jobs that we work. No way. That's the thing.
Just real quick,
a lot of them know.
Why you said that? I want to make sure that I understand this, because you just said a point, and I may have missed it, and that's why I say I love when conversations come to the table, because it could change an opinion. The DEI, is that supposed to outrule or counteract or conflict with affirmative action?
That's diversity, exclusion, and equality and inclusion.
I didn't understand it to be like that.
Man, I don't know. Well, you know what? I keep telling people we got. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
People don't really pay attention. I mean, is diversity, equity, and
inclusion.
Do you not know inclusion? Do you not know that a white woman is a DEI?
Yeah, because she's a woman. Because she's a woman. Because she's a woman. That's the thing. Because she's a woman.
And when they say DEI, they just say black and brown.
No. No, that's not. Yeah. It's because she's a woman.
A lot of people do feel like the DEI situation.
Man, they thought it was about just black people. That's what they thought it was about. Just black people. That's what they thought it was about. But it wasn't about black people.
But even for the word inclusion, you're saying that, but you're excluding so many.
Well, that's why I guess he wanted to do away with it. That's why I say he giving you something with the left hand and then snatching it back with the right hand just as fast as he give it to you. If he ain't an Indian, I don't know what he is. But then now you all of a sudden you're best friends with Putin. What is that all about? I ain't never seen. I mean, I know that's been going on, but now you want to be so publicly with it. Now it's all all good now. It's all good now. But before you wouldn't.
Oh, not all the way good, Queen Angela, because he made a statement when he did it at the White House that anyone, he's trying to do the resolve between Russia and Ukraine, and said anyone who's not about that will not, what was his words, will not be around anymore, or will no longer be around.
Yeah, we got caller number 3. We got caller number 3. We got caller number 3.
I'm sorry.
We got caller number 3. Caller number 3. Caller number 3. Come on in.
Come on in.
But while we waiting on caller number 3 to come on in, I really want to know. So, in sight of all of the stuff that's been going on, how do you feel, Shannon? We look on a global platform. How do you think we are standing up to all those people around us? Because Mexico don't want to do nothing with us. They say you want to do this. Okay, we about to do this. So now you can't do this. So we about to stop getting all kind of stuff from Mexico. Then you got Canada. They don't. The people can't even get their Canadian whiskey. They can't get they Kentucky whiskey. They mad because they can't get their Kentucky whiskey and they can't get their California wine. So
California wine is
they upset. They don't took all that stuff off their shelves.
Well, I mean, honestly, to answer your question, I can make that short and sweet. How we look on a global platform or from a global view. I mean, all of our people from outside of us, or all the people from outside of us who are looking at us, are telling us how we look. Like you said, Mexico said, okay, that's how you're going to do it. They're going to pull out because they're not going to fight to be abused. They're pulling out. Still don't know what China is doing, and Canada's president basically got on TV and said to us, he said, hold on, if anybody caught that, he said, hold on, I want to talk to the American people. He wasn't even trying to talk to the officials. And he said, I'm sorry for what's about to happen to you.
I'm going to tell you.
To not do that to us. So how we look from everybody else, they're all feeling sorry for us at this point. We're not even a laughing stock. It's not any of that. It's kind of how, I guess they can see that we're about to go from, I guess, such a high standard to,
correct.
such a low ball, just deteriorating kind of thing. So they said how we look. I agree. We don't necessarily look like a laughing stock, but we are, in a state of trouble.
So I got a couple things I want to ask you, because I have been seeing a couple posts that have been coming out. They've been coming out through Forbes magazine and a couple of more magazines. But I just want to ask this question. So you said that Canada's president, he did. I think his name Trudeau. Start with a T.
Trudeau.
He said, he's the prime minister. Okay, he said, so since he want to charge that 25% tariff on U.S. products, he's going to retaliate. He say Trump is a idiot. He said he want to do a trade war. We're going to go to trade war. He said to the American people, we do not want this. We do not want to hurt you, but Trump has chosen to do this to you. Now the U.S. stock market is way down and inflation is set to rise dramatically all across America. Trump has put American jobs at risk. Thousands of workplaces that depend on Canada for material are now going to suffer. Trump has chosen to raise prices for Americans on groceries, gas, cars, and homes. Trump has chosen a trading war to harm American families. That's what he's doing. But now he's making it great. Please tell me when it get great. All of that, no reason. But let me tell you the greatest thing that I think he's doing. The greatest thing that he's doing. So you go in and you say breaking news that you gonna call for the death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer. Now let me remind you. This is the.
Hey guys, they try. Y'all talking so heavy. This doctor knows it. Y'all talking so heavy. They cut me the hell off of my own.
Are we doing something wrong?
It's amazing. Yeah, it is. I don't know. But you know what? You need to talk, and it's great. I can hear you loud and clear now. It is what it is. But that was always in the woodwork. Not always. So I'm gonna bring a caller on. And I hope the call didn't hang up. And I hope our call did not hang up. I'm gonna bring our caller on right now. Caller, I got you. Come on, tell everybody who you are.
This is Anna Angela, the state of great America. Yo, Angela, this is Juicy, girl. How you doing, Miss Patricia? It's Miss Simon. Excuse me, this Juicy, y'all. Y'all get the end. It sounds so political, too. Especially is talking about this stuff. Girl, yes. Yo, I'm loving it, Angela. I just wanted to call in support. Look, I ain't got nothing to say. Y'all get it in. Angela, she cutting every corner with the DEI, everything. Yo, I'm over here lit, sis. So I just wanted to support your show because I need to. Yes, I do. You know what I'm saying? So much love.
Well, thank you.
I'm listening in because Miss Cheyenne, you can hear it in her voice too. Like, hold up. So. Hey, we got a culture. We got a people to save.
Oh yeah.
Period. Especially the children. Angela brought up the children, so that's real funny. Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
thank you.
I got my popcorn.
Well, thank you for calling in and supporting. Before you leave,
we got to bring it to the table.
Before you leave,
because they not like us. They not like us.
No, they not. Hey. But before you leave, you got to tell everybody who you are. Tell everybody who you are.
Well, my name is Jesus, y'all, and I'm an alumni, one of the speakers of WBNN, and I'm an alumni now, but I just called in to support y'all for about 5.5 years. So I just called in to support because that's what leadership is about. So sometimes you got to come out of something to be a real leader and follow leadership. Not on the bench. I had to get off the bench. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to call it support.
But thank
that's
you.
Something that I wasn't doing when I was a speaker, just like Angela. You know what I'm saying? So I get to watch her grow from the sidelines and to learn true leadership. And that's part of what we're talking about now, tonight. You see what I'm saying? Right. So yeah, honey, I had to fall back. I had to get off the mic. You know, sometimes you got to go to summer school. You know what I'm saying? And redo some stuff. You see what I'm saying? So I'm in summer school right now. No.
Well, thank you for calling in and supporting. Wow.
Thank you.
So she is one of the alumni hosts. She used to be on the network. So thank you for calling in and supporting. Jerry was, she is also one of the hosts over here on the network. She will be back on next month. She's going to be on my birthday, y'all, April the 1st. She'll be back right here on the WBNN. So y'all tune in and see what she got to say. She's one of our variety hosts. She's always bringing someone on. I enjoyed her show on last night. Her amazing guest. I enjoyed her on last night. But back to we want to talk about the death penalty and bringing the death penalty for anyone that may murder an officer. So let's talk about this. Now, this is the same Trump that pardoned over 400 violent insurrectionists, who also assaulted Capitol police officers. Now, this was done on his behalf on January the 6th, with 4 officers. No. 4 officers ultimately dying. So you pardon 400 violent insurrectionists, but then you want to give the death penalty to anybody that murdered an officer, but 4 officers were ultimately died doing this. So come on now, make it make sense now. Like you saying one thing and then you coming and saying something else. Like you can't please everybody. Stop trying to. You doing that one. But
I mean, but that's
we had it.
Like
we
all these terrorists and all these immigrants coming in here, but you don't want to talk about the gun laws, though.
We had it to
talk about the gun laws, though.
But we had it to greatness. We had it to greatness with TARF up, groceries up, exports down, stock market down, consumer confidence down, chance of recession up. Yet after Trump left. Okay, Trump left. He left it. Biden took over for 4 years. Biden started to rebuild the U.S. economy. And then look what Trump do. In 6 weeks, he destroyed it all again. But yet, he's making it great. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm sorry. He has to come in and turn up things and ruffle up things and shake up things, like he got to go over and he got to go to Fort Knox and make sure all the gold is there. Now, what's the purpose of that? He got to go to him and Vice President and Elon. They got to go make sure all of the gold is there. And then not only that, he taking these elaborate $20,000. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. $20 million trips to. I mean, ain't that much Super Bowl in the world. Ain't no way I'm finna be Super Bowling like that. If you got the Super Bowl $20 million in a time like this, crisis like this, and you want to go spend $20 million on a Super Bowl, come on.
Well, let's be real. That's probably $20 million out of his own bank account.
Nah, that went out of his bank account, baby. They came straight. No. We talking about this.
If you remember when he went on his first term of presidency, he didn't even want to be paid the president's check.
Yeah, let him say.
He paid more than that.
Yeah. So he say.
He denied that. I really think it's because once we start paying you, we the people start paying you, we get to be in your taxes too. But either way, he denied even wanting that. Didn't get paid the presidency salary. I don't know if they actually did it or not, because I mean, some things just come with the job. But so I'm kind of convinced that.
Well, some stuff do and some stuff don't. Because let me tell you something. They throwing all this stuff around about Jasmine Crockett, but she came and she set the record straight. She's wanting to let them know she got married. They keep saying she married and she got all this going on and she getting this million, and she said, let me set this record straight. So she had a lawsuit that she was working on and had been working on for 7 years. They did settle, but they couldn't come up with the money. And it was against somebody in the state of Texas. I forget which county it was, but the county could not come up with the money. She said if they had come up with the money, she would resign. She currently has a lawsuit right now against the Houston Police Department. If she wins, it's for $22 million. She said she's resigning from office. She's stepping down. She's resigning because that's what they will make you do. She said she's resigning and then she's going to run for special election. Now she's somebody she's about her business. And we need some more people like her. But we got caller number 4, y'all. We got caller number 4 in queue. Caller number 4, if you could please state your name and where you're calling from, please. Join the conversation. Come on in.
Peace and blessings. This is the Commissioner, Sister Bessie the Truther from the front porch. My show will be on March the 25th. Hi, ladies. I want to say this to y'all. The revolution will be televised. And that's what you all are doing right now. I am so enjoying this. And what I wanted to bring up to you all, do you know that they are planning on putting chips in prisoners' heads or in the brain for them to be released early from their prison sentences? I wanted to know, what do you think about that? For me, I think
I haven't heard that yet, but I think that's crazy. But if we look at a lot that's going on, and we look at the different things that's happening right now, look who's in office. Look who has control of a lot of these things. That is one of the things that Elon Musk does. That is one. We talk about Starlink. We talk about a lot of these different other entities that is connected to this man that's now taking on a lot of this money, that's taking on a lot of these contracts, that's taking on a lot. See, he's getting rid of a lot of these positions, getting rid of a lot of these people so that he can have nobody in place, so that he can use these AIs, he can use these companies that Elon Musk has built.
And I wanted to say, for me, I'm thinking that it's part of the beast system. You know, when they are using chips in order, they said after they get out of prison, the chip is for them to be able to control them. And I'm sorry. And what's her name?
Her name is Sister Bessie. She's the commissioner on the network.
Hold on, guys. One mic. Let Sister Bessie talk, y'all. And it's just Bessie too, so it's one mic. Because everybody's talking over each other. Come on now, let's get it together.
Yes. I also wanted to let you all know that this Friday there will be the first firing squad execution in South Carolina. And I'm wondering how this would affect many of our brothers that are in prison and that are still not guilty. You know, so they are supposed to be doing this firing squad execution this Friday in Greenville County.
Greenville, South Carolina. Yeah, he asked for that. That's something that he would have asked for. Not something that they just offered him. He asked for that because that's an option. He asked for it. But I mean that you look at where we are. We are in a racist state. I am from South Carolina. We're in a racist state. We right now have wildfires. We're right now we right now look like California with fires. And yes, that's what we looking like right now. Patrice, what y'all looking like? Because North Myrtle Beach, South Myrtle Beach, as well as Merle Inlet and Georgetown. Carolina Forest, and you know how far that is from the beach. Carolina Forest has lost 1,600 acres.
Yes. And they're talking about why they are burning these towns because they're trying to put in smart cities. Smart cities. So they're returning people out of their homes to build these cities that they call smart cities.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that's something that is correct. Well, we got one right here. Yes. Well, I want to thank you all. Yes, I wanted to bring those things up. and I wanted to see how you all felt about it. But I love what you all are doing and how you are bringing the information about the system. Thank you so much, ladies.
No problem. Hey, caller, can I say something to you?
Yes.
Just when you were talking about the chip, there was a movie my brother had me watch. It's an old movie. I believe it came out in about 2017 called Kingsman. Called Kingsman with Samuel L. Jackson. I was just actually telling you about it in Bible study a couple of years ago. And it basically says that, they're going to put the chip in you. And my brother's Bible study was about making sure your spirit is grounded in the Word. Because if and when they are able to put something in our strings or something that can control us, which is what they thought was in the COVID vaccination, the whole lot of stories with that.
Coca-Cola.
But if and when they are able to do that, you want your spirit so grounded in the Word that something in you, which is what God puts in us all, tells us something ain't right. Not just being able to be controlled. But if you look at the movie Kingsman, like I said, I just got a chance to watch it after being told about it for 2 years. I couldn't find it. But basically that chip is so once they can tell you're not following what they want you to do, they can press a button and you no longer exist. So I don't understand how that... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yes, there's another movie called Recall where you see Arnold Schwarzenegger playing.
Oh, Total Recall. Yes.
Total Recall. He pulls the chip out of his nose.
Yes.
Yes.
So really, the talk about it or the idea of it has been going on for so long. A couple of years back, they showed how some people from the U.S. actually went over to the different countries. I can't remember what country is doing it right now, but they're actually putting their bank account chips in their hands. Just the same way you swipe your phone, you can swipe your wrist. They split your wrist open.
You don't even have to go to another country now, baby.
Right back up. Somebody from the U.S. went over there.
But it's right here in the U.S. now. It's right here in the U.S. now.
I heard about it, and actually, I saw them put the chip in the hand.
Yes, that's supposed to be only her bank information.
No, they had a company, and it was on Good Morning America. There was a company that they did put them in their hands for them to be able to clock in and out at work. So they doing it right here in the U.S. That ain't something they going overseas. They've already started it. If you look back at Good Morning America, it's been about a year or two. I'm sure I'm not the only person that saw it, but it was on Good Morning America, and they was talking about how this company was chipping their employees. You see it now. You got companies in Florida right now ran by Elon Musk that are doing the same thing. You got companies that are so-called weight loss companies that are doing the same thing. So it's a lot of stuff that's going on right under your noses, and it's just happening. Just like they want to tell us that we're about to start seeing falling stars. No, those are not falling stars. What do you think all those the debris from all those satellites that they have been launching and launching and launching and launching and launching and launching? Where else are they gonna go? They got to come back. They eventually got to fall. So guess what? You're not seeing falling stars. You're seeing falling pieces of these satellites. They got to come back.
Yeah.
They got to come somewhere.
And you know what? Before I leave, I would advise everyone that do not read Revelation to read Revelation 13. And it will tell you exactly
Revelation in Acts.
Plan on doing. That's the beast system.
Yeah.
So I love you, ladies, and I enjoyed it. I'm going to sit back and listen to this wonderful information. Love y'all.
Amen. Thank you, Sister Bessie.
Love you back. Thank you.
And that is our current commissioner here. That is our current commissioner here on the WBNN. Want to thank her for chiming in on the conversation. But now let's talk about us. Let's talk about us as brown people. Let's talk about us as making a difference and us being the change that we desire to see in this world. One thing I have realized that not even just this administration, but everybody, they always want to wipe away our history and want to influence our history, what is taught to our kids, and what is allowed for the public. I don't know how something that we endured can cause trauma to other races, but what we endured seems to cause trauma to other races. So individuals don't like for us to talk about it. Here lately, Patrice, I know that you deal with a lot of banning of African American books, and a lot of things like that, with the work that you do. I want to know what what influence do you think this administration will have on the way our history is being transferred down. I know that the majority of it should take place in the home, but for that is not taking place in the home. It should be public too. We should be able to see our history. We shouldn't have to, wonder about our history. They're taking stuff out. They're saying that if it go past 2008, that they're taking it out of the schools. Some of the school systems don't want books in past 2008. Well, we didn't just drop out of the sky in 2008. Well, how did we get here before that? Like, Patrice, come on. You deal with this every day with books. So tell us, what's your thoughts?
We are under fire when it comes to the book. They are now wanting to do the book banning. And the book banning is not just for LGBTQ. It is books that are talk about social justice. Books that are written by authors like Andy Thomas and Jason Reynolds that talk about the interaction between young African American or brown children and the group. They want to take these books off the shelf. We should, as parents, be able to fill in the gap, but not everybody can do that. So that's where your local library comes into play. But then, what's the protection of the library? Now the libraries are being targeted. They're wanting to pull funding. They're wanting to say, you can't have this book, you can't have that book. Well, then that's when it comes to the village. Now, one thing I love about the church that World Overcomer, all of Black History Month, and Lord, let me stop right there. Y'all, let's stop doing this Black History Month thing. And listen to me when I say that. Black History Month is only 28 days. We can't expect these kids to learn their history in 28 days. This should be something that we tell our kids every day. And the Black history does not have to be rules of Black Martin Luther King. It can be their grandparents. You know, your grandparents, they wrote this stuff from nobody else. It can be stories like that. Yeah. And let me get back on track. That's good. So the church, every week, they did something at the end of service. Even to the point that we, as the mothers, the parents of the kids, we participate. There was an African dance. We talk about people who made changes in the community. The kids chose people. And they didn't choose people that strong, firm, and no, Marley Diaz, a young Black girl who wanted other Black young girls and boys to see books that portrayed them. So we need to start bringing at-home libraries. Okay? Yeah. You may say, oh my God, people can't afford that. Yes, you can. Because we got these little libraries that have all these books. We got thirsty books. You have a book club in the community. Create a book club between you and your community. Create a book. Let the kids read the book. Literacy is the biggest thing that is with these books that we have for these kids that is being lost. They can quote every single song there is, but give them a book and they won't know anything. So it's up to us to fill in that gap. But they ain't the only person on the fire. The library's on the fire too. So how do you support? You go in and you take the kids to library programs. I am so tired of seeing no kids of colors and African American or Latino kids in library programs.
Yeah.
The parents will bring their kids to the library and they will put them on a computer while they do what they need to do. Well, other people bring their kids to the library, you go find a book. You read a book.
And you think as a librarian,
they'll read their book.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, as a librarian, have you, with technology growing and evolving as a librarian, have you started to see the crowds diminish and the people, kids, regardless of the situation, kids not really reading books or, even parents who don't read to their kids, stuff like that. But just as technology is evolving, do you see that being, one of the biggest hindrance on the library?
No, I would have to say that it's the total opposite.
Right.
A lot of people are coming more right now. Well, I can only say that for my library and where I work at in the city where I live at, it's totally different. I mean, I would say my last 5 programs that were for adult services were more attended than I've ever done before in my whole 20 years. Now, on the flip side, I do a contest every year for the past 10 years. It's an essay contest, and I usually have between 100 to 200 essays. And this essay is about Black history. I've only had 5 this year. Goes out to the schools, but people are scared. They don't want to touch it. They don't want to do anything. But to go back to your question, no, I've seen the readership has gone up. We have kids coming out in the library in the afternoon, so the parents pick them up. So libraries aren't the quiet little technology. We're now community hubs.
Mm-hmm.
We do paint and color. We do big old carnivals. We have book fairs. We have educational classes about probate. We talk about the difference in the different types of education for our kids. So yeah, we are no longer that quiet technology place. We bring it out.
Right. I forgot that, libraries, there was a library to take my daughter to when they were younger out here in Clayton County. But every other weekend, 2 Saturdays out of the month, the library would throw little things for the kids, events, paintings, whatever it was, they would throw events for the kids, get them to learn and stuff like that. But I was more so asking, I know my local library, when I go there, I take my girls there, there's more people sitting at the tables at the computers or using the free Wi-Fi than there are sitting there reading an actual book. So although people are showing up at the libraries, I was more so asking, do you see a decline in getting a library card? People renting or actually checking out books. Because it is so easy to get it, read it on an ebook or something like that, it is more convenient, and that's what we all are looking for, some type of convenience in life. But even as going to the library,
but you still have people.
There are things online.
But you still have people that want an actual book. You have people that still want to pick up a book and put it in their hands, and they want to read a actual book. So you still have people that want the book. So we got caller number 5 in queue.
You do.
And then we'll get back to the conversation. We got caller number 5 in queue.
Hey, peace, brilliant and beautiful woman of God, and special honored guest. I'm really, really enjoying this. I want to be swift with this. Can I go back and speak on why they don't want certain things taught? Can I speak on that right quick?
Yeah.
Well, the reason why they don't want certain things taught is because it's going to prove the stolen legacy. It's going to prove that everything that they took from us, from our story, right? Notice the word. Our story was called a mystery, and they took the mystery schools that used to be all over this entire planet Earth, right? And they took that because it goes goes back to a period of time where Europeans did not exist. So in order for to try to place them in our place, because they know they can only trace their history back to a certain point. But their history don't go past millions and millions of years, including the Bible. When you really, really read that story, notice now, from the Adamites all the way up to the way they describe the Lord and Savior, right? Describing him with hair white, like wool, and feet like you burnt in a furnace. And you cannot burn anything white. I seen my mom burn toast, and that toast came out black. It definitely didn't turn white. So what they have to do is supplant themselves. That's what the word Jacob really means. It means to take somebody else's place. So they know the history of the Bible, right? Even though we existed pre-Bible, before the Bible, right? But if you want to use biblical, Quranic, or what's written in the Torah, that's our story too, and they know it. So if they was to allow certain things to be taught, first of all, they really, really don't know it. They know a portion of us, but we're the most forgiving people that you can imagine. They're afraid of some type of uprising, but that's not our nature. 85 to 95% of our people have that forgiveness type of nature. That's not our nature. Only thing that we want is to be left alone, allow us to live in peace. But they don't have that type of nature. And they know that. They don't apply to all of them, but apply to the mass majority of them. And they just want to try to protect the land that they took. They want to try to protect the lives and stuff that they told in order for them to be in the positions of power. And they don't want that taken. Anyway, when your show ends, my show begins. And it's funny y'all talking about AI and all that kind of stuff, because I'll be speaking about autonomous, right, intelligence versus artificial intelligence. Autonomous is what we have inherited as human and living beings versus artificial intelligence. And it's going to be very, very interesting. Anyway, love you with the heart and soul of me. And again, honor to you, special honor guest.
And that was our
Thank you.
Hall of Fame broadcast and lifetime achiever, Huni Bakatum. We got caller number 6 in queue. Caller number 6, if you would please state your name and where you're calling from.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
This is Chanel. I'm calling from California. How you guys doing this evening? The next from Cali. Yes. I'm loving the show. I had to tell my husband that call me back in 20 minutes because I had to chime in. And when you guys was talking about the chip, I googled that the place that it's in Switzerland where they going to get the chip implanted in their hand. So I looked at that. Angela, you was mentioning George Floyd is the guy that they put the officer that killed him is who they trying to get pardoned. And everybody knows talk about injustice. And I can't leave out my brothers and my sisters, and especially my husband that has been wrongfully convicted over here in the state. But we have 47 go and pardon all these men that you can see storming the Capitol. You got video of them. You got them confessing to what they did. But here we have men and women currently housed in our prisons, wrongfully convicted. And the number one race that's wrongfully convicted is our black men. Someone
brung up child trafficking, sex trafficking. We can go. It didn't start at the borders. Don't take that all the way back to when our people was stolen from our land, came over here, and then our ancestors, our great-great-grandmothers and things was raped. And they were sold off into sex trafficking. Nobody want to talk about that. Nobody want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, that's too old in history.
It causes too much trauma. It causes too much trauma on everybody else but the people that was affected by it. It causes too much hurt to everybody else but the people that were affected by it. Go ahead now.
Exactly. And then you guys want to say, oh, God saved him. If you guys know your Bible, that's God probably could save him. But God is love. When did God start talking bad about people? He said, love your neighbors. We don't love our neighbors. I've been called a monkey. I've been called out my name. And I ain't did nothing. My grandsons, I got 4 grandsons, still in school. And they are people. They love to talk to different people. But when you have people from other races stare down at them, whether they're Caucasian, whether they are brown brothers and sisters, because the black man get it from everywhere, including our own people. Now I got to go and teach them, because when we came up, we was able to go out in the street and play and everything. We didn't see this, but now my grandkids have to deal with what my mother and them dealt with. It's a museum in Atlanta that I went to when I was in Atlanta. I visited there. They have an exhibit there, and it's a counter where you can go and you can sit at that counter like you sitting in a restaurant, and you can put on these headphones and close your eyes, and you hear all the hateful things that people in the 50s and the 60s experienced. Don't nobody want to talk about that. Even our old people don't want to talk about that. They want to brush all of that up under the rug. No, we're tired of sweeping stuff up under the rug.
Yeah, that rug
getting up and beat the hell out of it.
That rug becoming a hill. It's becoming a mountain. It's getting it's full. It ain't laying flat no more. People don't start tripping over that rug. It's time to do something about it, because we don't brush too much under the rug. Now it's time to cut that hill down. But I definitely I thank you for chiming in. You drop some nuggets. If you would, please tell everybody who you are.
My name is Jeanette Johnson, and I'm the host of Let's Talk About It over there on the Crew podcast, under the leadership of the Queen Angela. And I just want to say, you guys, use your voice. Stand up for what's right. Stand up for what's right. Stop falling for the okie doke. This man ain't supposed to save us. It's only one man I know went to the cross to save us. He is not supposed to make America great. He is not. Open your eyes. Get the big picture, as they tell us out when we out here driving these buses and stuff. Get the big picture.
Well, thank you for...
When it comes to your door, that's when it really affects you guys.
That's it. Well, thank you. Thank you for stopping by and sharing tonight.
Thanks for that.
Y'all, we got caller number 7 in queue. Caller number 7. If you would, tell me where you're calling from, please.
Hi, Angela. Hi, everyone. This is not the ordinary. This is unique. How y'all doing tonight?
All right, how are you?
Hey, I'm just calling to support you. And I was just wanting to let you know my show is going to be March the 11th on WBNN. I'm a co-host as well. And I just want to let y'all know I enjoy all the topics and everything y'all was talking about. And, you know, no matter what we do in life, people ain't going to never consider you a family. We have to consider ourselves as a family. It's, and our blessings in every door that is going to be open, it's on the way. And we have to just learn to live and let live, and you have to stand up for what's right, no matter how wrong. Everything wrong, people try to make it right, and everything right, people try to make it wrong. But God is gonna always make a way and turn it around for us, and we're not looking for no kind of handouts. And God got a blessing in store for everybody. He looks high, and he's high and he looks low. He doesn't make no mistakes. And one thing I've learned in life is that everybody have lips and it can sink ships, but you got to learn not to believe everything people say, because everything people say don't mean that it's a voice behind it. And I just want to let y'all know that I am a part of WBNN, like I said, and my show I will be co-hosting on it on March 11th. Then I'm also a part of The Groove with Dr. Ngozi on each Saturday night on Podbean. And then I have my own show that I do every other Saturday, that the Unique Parker Experience. And I would love for y'all to tune in, and all of you be blessed, and y'all have good topics tonight.
Well, I got a question for you before you go. I really want to know what are your thoughts about being able to have a narrative in creating and leaving a legacy. What part do you play in being a legacy builder?
Me being a legacy builder is letting my voice be known, whether if people take it as a positive or a negative. I'm going to always let my light shine through me, in me, and all around me. I don't try to be double standard. What you see is what you get, and I'm going to always speak truth. A lot of people might not want to hear the truth, but truth always overrides untruth. And we as individuals, we have to let our voice be known. Everybody have their own hiccups. Everybody have different values and different beliefs. But through it all, we have to respect each other and just pour into each other. Not just let your cup or your bucket be filled and put holes in the other one. We got to fill each other's buckets. There's no big eyes and no little U's with me. And I always try to listen and have an understanding. And you got to be able to take creative criticism, because everybody is unique in their own way. And so everybody has a brighter day. We have good days, we have bad days, but you can't let your bad days interfere with the vision that everyone can see. You got to stay focused, stay purpose driven, and just let your voice be heard every opportunity you get. And that's how I want my legacy to be. I don't want people to just see me as, hey, this is unique and yada, yada, yada. I want them to remember me by what I'm pouring into them. Not something negative, but something always positive that I can help the next person or whoever I come in touch with touch their lives and let their lives touch me as well, because we all can learn from each other.
Amen, amen, amen. I want to thank you for chiming in. And again, she is one of the amazing hosts here on the WBNN. She's also going to be co-hosting a show with our producer, Dr. Ngozi, on Saturdays, as well as she's going to be launching her own show. She is a part of the Grief Podcast over on The Crew Podcast, which airs every fifth Sunday starting March the 30th. She will be part of the Grief Podcast. It's called Healing Voices, Navigating Through Grief. So she is one of the individuals that will be sharing. There is 5 of us that will be sharing. We're going to be sharing our perspective. We're going to be sharing our thoughts on grief. So y'all, it is now approaching Ngozi time. So we're going to have our final thoughts. I want to allow my guests to share their final thoughts about what has transpired on tonight. And I want them to also make sure that they share how we can connect, follow, and support the things that they're doing. So final thoughts, Patrice, I'm going to start with you. Final thoughts on tonight.
My final thought. Unity. Y'all, let's get together and make things happen. Start at the groundwork, which is our local offices, and work our way up. You can follow me on all social media. Anything that says SC Book Gala 843 or SC Book Gala Phrase Chat, that's me. Authors, if you want to talk about your book, illustrators, anybody dealing with literacy, check your girl out.
All right. Shining.
All right. So my final thought of the evening is I agree with Patrice, unity. I think we need to focus on just coming together, knowing what we can do. As we know, our current state of America is diversity and division. Both those things that we need to be working on. So I'm just going to say, let's try to get together, bring some things to the table. I am your host, Shining Saffron of Bad to Business on the Crew Podcast, and catch me on Facebook, Instagram, and all those great places that these things are. I'll be giving out my contact sooner than later.
Amen, amen. Well, as this conversation draws to a close, it is evident that the current state of America is marked by both profound challenges and opportunities for growth. Through our exploration of social and political issues, we have highlighted the importance of informed and diverse perspective in shaping our national dialogue. We've also reflected on the significance of various technology, thoughts, policies, things that affect our decisions. In our discussion on Black history, we acknowledge the crucial need for accurate and comprehensive representation to honor our contributions as Americans. As we look towards the future, it is our collective hope that these conversations continue to prompt meaningful action, paving the way for more just and inclusive society. Thank you for joining us for this vital conversation. And I hope that you will continue to think about this and even take steps to address this issue as it impacts our nation. Y'all, it's Ngozi time.
What a wonderful show tonight with a wonderful, outstanding performance from Shannon and, of course, Patrice, and, of course, Angela Thomas Smith. I love the dialogue. I love, the sandpaper against the wood. That's what we're supposed to be. There's no kumbaya here. Everybody has their opinion, and it is what it is. If you agree or don't, or you have, a situation where all you agree, that's wonderful. And it's always presented by Definition Online Radio. Congratulations to Angela Thomas Smith, our grand champion, you know, a person who was a fastest paced host in the history of the network in 2023 that garnered her many different accolades on her 66th WBNN all-time connection record and third consecutive with the Darlene Lawrence Championship honor of every Hall of Famer. We thank her. We love her. And, of course, what more can we say? Tomorrow night we come back on this outstanding story network with the 2022 International Radio Hall of Fame Broadcasting Lifetime Achievement, Uli Bakatun, and we will wear you, historic as he is. 9:30 Eastern Daylight Time on the one and only Seven Nation, of course. Seven Nation's advertising going to go to Time Multimedia. Pinterest, Google, Instagram, and X. Point us Twitter, Ola Dudley Malay, when goes to Facebook. Any comments, suggestions, or local program tonight, Ola Delay. Diagnose with MyG.com. I am your mother and father's favorite producer, Dr. Ola Dudley Malay, when goes to saying good night, Gamma. To all the folks out there on Force Radio that support us in the Constitution. Now to exceptional accolades. The 2023 Anna Waddell Award winner for excellence. The WBN Communications Host of the Year for the Nick Celsi. The 2023 International Internet Radio Hall of Fame Broadcasting and Chinese. The outstanding CEO and proprietor of the Crew Podcast and a branch from WBNN Communications. The outstanding woman from Anderson, South Carolina. Her name. Remember her name. Angela Thomas Smith.
Well, I want to thank everyone that did not think it robbery to join us on tonight. I have to give a special shout out to my amazing host, Patrice and Shannon, for coming in and chiming in on the conversation and allowing their perspectives to be heard on tonight. I truly count it an honor and a privilege to be able to just be in this space. I always have to give honor where honor is due. Thank you, Brother O, for allowing me this space. Next month, I will be celebrating 5 years. I hope you guys will tune in. I will be back the day after my birthday. So y'all tune in, celebrate my birthday with me. Also, we will be celebrating the launch of another book. Yes, another book. And these amazing individuals are part of that book. It's going to be celebrating my 50th trip around the sun. It is also giving homage to poetry, as we're going to be sharing our words through poetry. So I hope you guys will support us back here April the 2nd. Y'all, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Know that none of this would be possible without you guys' support. So thank you. Y'all have a great night. See you in 4 weeks.